Happy Paddy's Day, America!
Tomorrow you have the JFK files. What time will they be released?
Tomorrow after research.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you seen what's in the files? Have you read them?
I've heard about it.
Was there,
Anything interesting?
It's going to be very interesting.
was there an executive summary supplied to you, Mr. President,
No,
regarding this?
I'm not doing summaries. You'll write your own summaries.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh, boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up?
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking like the Doodah Man. Together, more or less in line, just keep trucking on.
Arrows of neon and flashing marquees out on Main Street. Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all on the same street. A typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings.
Dallas got a soft machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York got the ways and means and just won't let you be.
Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days they know they gotta get going. Out of the door and down to the street all alone.
Trucking like the Doodah Man once told me you got to pay your hand. Sometimes the cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay 'em down. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me, what a long, strange trip it's been.
What in the world ever became of Sweet Jane? She lost her sparkle, you know she isn't the same. Living on reds, vitamin C and cocaine. All a friend can say is ain't it a shame?
Trucking up the Buffalo, been thinking you got to mellow slow. It takes time to pick a place to go and just keep trucking on.
Sitting and staring out of the hotel window. Got a tip, they're gonna kick the door in again. I'd like to get some sleep before I travel, but if you got a warrant, I guess you're gonna come in.
Busted down on Bourbon Street, set up like a bowling pin. Knocked down, it gets to wearing thin. They just won't let you be.
You're sick of hanging around and you like to travel. Get tired of traveling, you wanna settle down. I guess I can't revoke your soul for trying. Get out of the door, light out and look all around.
Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me, what a long, strange trip it's been. Trucking, I'm going home. Whoa, whoa, baby. to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. 8, 7, 6. Commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom.
Conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Which ones?
The Trump-Russia witch hunt, Jeffrey Epstein, JFK assassination, the misuse of the Patriot Act, the Iraq War, the weapons of mass destruction, the war in Ukraine, the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline, the open border migration caravans, the climate change scam, chemtrails, and HARP, and 9/11 being an inside job, and the Internet of Things surveillance grid, and PFAs, and chemicals in the water turning everyone gay, and the 2020 election being stolen, and January 6th being filled with undercover feds, and Bilderberg and Bohemian Grove, and global government, not to mention gain-of-function research and the threat of China, and collapsing birth rates, and defund the police, and George Soros, and mail-in ballots, and big tech censorship, and disinformation agencies, and Obama's birth certificate, and probably some others I can't think of. I mean, so a few of
Try to steal you, baby.
quality of the Irish, the remarkable combination of hope, confidence, and imagination that is needed more than ever today. The problems of the world cannot possibly be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need men who can dream of things that never were and ask why not.
All right, so remember, misspellings do matter. So if you guys saw Trump's post on True Social, you read through the golf thing here, but at the bottom that it says participated in the event, but it's missing a T. So let's go to the cue board real quick and check this out. Well, in this post here, this is back in 2019, 3109. The strike will be fast. Well, Q forgot the T. And then at the bottom, that would be 2019 on post 3110. He says, strike on the move. My friends, there's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot of military operation on the move, if you couldn't tell, over in all these Iran, everywhere else right now, and the Houthis. So buckle up. Military's in control, and it's going to get exciting here soon. Love y'all.
Veil didn't just thin, it tore. And you're walking through it right now. For the next 7 days, you are in a dimensional crossfade. The old world and the new timeline are overlapping, and you're in the middle of it. This explains why things feel so off for so many right now. It's almost like you're slipping in and out of a different version of your life. You're feeling the ripple of this eclipse still echoing through your reality. And if you think this is just some energy shift, you're not seeing the full picture. Because something else is happening, and trust me, it's way bigger than you think.
love streams everywhere. Why can't you listen? Why can't you hear? Why can't you listen? Love streams everywhere.
On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Her pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, "Thank you, ma'am," the snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
So to follow up on the Biden auto pen, are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an auto pen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave, think of it, they gave pardons with an auto pen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. And the reason they did that is because the information was very incriminating about them. Like Nancy Pelosi, it was determined conclusively that she knew about 10,000 soldiers and turned it down. And if we used 500 soldiers, you would have had no problem, let alone 10,000. The young lady that said that I grabbed these powerful young Secret Service agents by the neck, okay? You know that was a big hoax. It was a lie. And she admitted it. And they deleted everything. So, you know, what they did is criminal. I think we're about to land, everybody.
Criticism that the Alien Enemies Act has only been invoked 3 other times. They were all during times of war. Do you feel that you're using it appropriately right now?
Well, this is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the highest level. They emptied jails out. Other nations emptied their jails into the United States. That's an invasion. And these are criminals, many, many criminals, murderers, drug dealers at the highest level, drug lords, people from mental institutions. That's an invasion. They invaded our country. So this isn't, in that sense, this is war.
Late in the evening, I lose my mind. Early in the morning when I'm walking the line. Hang me some sugar, hang me that wine. Take me to heaven, I don't have much time. I'm under pressure, ease my mind. Head on the water, I don't have much time. Hand me some sugar, hand me that wine. Go tell the devil I've been walking the line. West in Virginia, down on my knees. I'll keep begging, but I ain't begging for free. Hand me some water, turn it to wine. Make like the maker, keep on walking the line. My hallelujah came and it went. Dead men walking, they don't pay the rent.
that are at the forefront of every war. With every new war comes a new way of fighting. The old have seen a transformation take place over the past 20 years. One that's so familiar it's become an extension of ourselves. That enables us exponentially. With every new capability comes a new way of exploiting it. You might not be able to see it, the enemy can, clear as day. You don't even need to be this close, or nearby, or even human.
The rocket strike that killed dozens of service members has been linked to unauthorized cell phone use.
Using photographs freely available online to pinpoint the exact location of militants everywhere from Syria to Siberia.
Online posts like these online
geotagging and details in the photos, people were able to confirm that he was
and power lines in the background. They had a match and a pinpoint location on Google Maps.
They're not going to stop, and this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day.
Welcome, Patriots. How you guys doing? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy Monday. Nothing like a Monday, right? All right. Let's jump into our news because I have no inner monologue. Okay, that's not true. It is true. It's good to see you guys. It's been a long day, kind of not. Everything going on, like, I had put off the Miracles project for a day or two because of the whole storm cleanup thing. They called it an F2 tornado, like, I don't know, 2 miles from my house. Kind of cool. But then now I'm thinking with this Kennedy stuff tomorrow, they're saying 80,000 documents tomorrow. See you in a month, a year. Let's see, you take the first 20,000, you take 20,000. It's going to be interesting. Maybe I'll push that project back a week. But I'm wondering, do you think it'll have the answers that people seek? The answer to that, like, number one conspiracy theory for the past so many decades? I don't know. It's going to be pretty cool, though. It's going to keep everybody busy. Maybe that's the point of it. I don't know. I guess the egg prices are dropping. I've not checked on this my own self, but it's apparently the word today that looks like they've gone down by half to me, so just about half. The USDA Daily National Shell Egg Index Report, that's like a real thing, huh? People take their eggs seriously, but do they take it as seriously as their toilet paper? I don't know. Trump deploys the U.S. Navy to the southern border amid small boat crossings down there, just sort of helping border patrol. It looks like, to me, the situation gets more interesting every day. Mike Collins says, it's ridiculous that a Democratic president can import violent gang members, but a Republican president can't deport them. And that's so true, isn't it? We'll talk about I guess we'll talk about that now. The whole judge halting the deportation things. They're saying that they did not refuse to comply, but they just felt like the federal courts have no jurisdiction over the president's conduct of foreign affairs. And that may be true. We're going to look even deeper. So this document here. Inhumane rules inside world's worst prison as first prisoners from America arrive after Trump defies the judge. That'd be an interesting article. I mean, what do they expect? There's some bad ones, but let's take a quick look at it.
All right, let's get to some news. It's 4 minutes after the top of the hour. The White House is defending its decision to send hundreds of alleged gang members to a super prison down in El Salvador.
And President Trump is thanking the country for taking all of those illegal migrants in.
Good job, El Salvador, one of the great stories in Central and South America. Maddie Rivera is live in Washington. Maddie.
Hi, guys. Good morning. The president of El Salvador says more than 200 Tren de Aragua members arrived in the country over the weekend. He also says they received almost 24 MS-13 gang members from the U.S. A senior Trump administration official tells our Bill Malugin 261 illegal aliens were deported to El Salvador. In total, 101 were Venezuelans removed via Title VIII, and 137 were deported through the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And that's what's been causing a lot of controversy. This wartime authority gives the president the power to deport non-citizens without a judicial hearing during a period of war or invasion. The act has only been used 3 other times in American history. This is the first time it's been invoked since World War II. But the president is justifying its use.
Well, this is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the...
So we saw that in the intro, but yeah, it's a controversial act, and there's some judges challenging it, but now people are just like challenging the judges. So Derek Johnson shared this video from Newt Gingrich.
Idea of the judges being able to lord it over everyday folks. And in fact, if you read the Federalist Papers, which are the primary introduction to what does the Constitution mean, they make it very clear. They believe the legislative branch and the executive branch are much more powerful than the judicial for a practical reason. The Congress and the president together can simply abolish judges. And it's only with Marbury versus Madison, which is totally dishonest in how it's currently portrayed. In Marbury versus Madison, Marshall understands that if he doesn't go down a very careful line, Jefferson will abolish the court. And so he has a very convoluted reasoning that he knows will make Jefferson relatively happy while asserting that the court can make this decision. Lawyers ever since have dramatically expanded the meaning of Marbury versus Madison and have ignored the reality that the judicial acts of 1801 and 1802 indicated total dominance of the legislative and executive branches over the courts because they can abolish them. So when you start from that background and you realize that where we are today is that the last castle of left-wing nuttism are these district judges and 1 or 2 Supreme Court judges. And that what they're doing is a fundamental assault on the constitutional order. If the American people elect a president, and as we've just seen in the last couple of days, elect a House and Senate who are in agreement about things, it's very dangerous for the judges to interpose themselves between the people's elected officials and their own personal judgments. And so what you're seeing right now is sort of it's just the equivalent to the people who occupied Trump Tower this week or the people who occupied Columbia. These are out of control, totally unconstitutional behaviors by left-wing radicals who frankly ought to face the prospect, 1, of being impeached for failure to follow the Constitution, 2, potentially having their entire court abolished, which could be done at any level and was done in the past. And so I don't think that the American people should accept judges as dictators, and that's why the quote you had, I thought your monologue was brilliant, and your quote earlier from Jefferson. Jefferson thought it was...
And what he's saying simply is that, you know, if the judges are going to go against a large number of the people, they might just end up getting abolished. Welcome to the party here, Elvis. Sorry about your home, man. These tornadoes are wild. It's been a while since one came through my part of Illinois. And blessings to you. I hope things work out, dude. So Newt Gingrich, it was a pretty good video. It makes a pretty good point there that we're not going to put up with these Obama-era judges that are, and it is sort of acting like a dictator if they're not going with the flow of the people. So you probably saw this today. A French lawmaker demands the return of the Statue of Liberty, arguing that the U.S. no longer upholds its founding values. Personally, I say give it back to him. It's an evil piece of art anyway. Maybe paint it first. Spray paint it. Trump was here on it and send it back. Apparently, we're not going to be doing that, though, sadly.
And something different. There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So they should be very grateful to our great country. Kelly.
Ooh. Burn. Oh, man, that was... They can put it next to the Eiffel Tower. What do you guys think? We'll take it down for them. I thought this was a funny article. I just wanted to show you. Why are Trump supporters claiming he wants to crash the U.S. stock market? Some MAGA followers are spreading an unsubstantiated theory related to the cost of the U.S. national debt from Al Jazeera News. And it reminds me, we watched this short video with Secretary Lutnick the other day, and there's a little bit more to it.
It sounds like you're saying, trust us. And are you worried that at some point Americans are going to feel like there's a bunch of billionaires in Washington who are playing Russian roulette with our retirement?
$2 trillion deficits don't bother you at all. How could you ask me, while we're running a $2 trillion deficit, and not care? You're destroying the people who have run this country before, are destroying the future for my children and my children's children. I can't have a 50, 75. We have a $36 trillion deficit. And we used to run deficits of $400 billion. Now $2 trillion, everybody's like, who cares? I tell you what, who cares? Donald Trump cares. And when we balance the budget, you know what that means? That means our deficits stop. Interest rates come smashing down. His goal is to have external revenue. You know, the way I think about it, we all are so used to paying taxes. We're so used to it. We have like Stockholm syndrome.
I think we'll do that too. That was the rest of the video there we watched the other day. So I think he'll more than balance the budget. I think he's gonna break the budget, change the budget, surplus the budget. It's gonna be interesting. Speaking of money and stuff like that, I wanted to show you this from Elon and Doge real quick.
But some of the stuff you've told me about, like tell us about computer licenses and government agencies.
Yeah, so most of what Doge is finding, you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes. Okay, it's very obvious, basic stuff. So in every government department, I say every because we've not yet found a single exception, there are far too many software licenses and media subscriptions, meaning many more software licenses and media subscriptions than there are humans in the department.
Like you were saying, like an agency with 15,000 people might have 30,000 licenses.
Yes.
And even of the 15,000 employees, a good chunk of them hadn't used the license, had never logged on or used the application.
Yes. We found entire situations of software licenses or media subscriptions where there were 0 logins.
Wow.
So it had
and yet we were paying for it.
Yes, so the government was paying for thousands of licenses of software or media subscriptions, and no one had ever logged in even once.
Yeah, we're going to kind of look more into that stuff here in a little bit. That episode of Nino and Roseanne talking about that, and regarding the Epstein files and stuff, they're going to, or it's out now on Rumble, so I think we might just watch that tonight. The F2, is that what you're saying, Elvis? Was that in Paris, Illinois? I think I saw that. Anyway, this next video I wanted to show you guys real quick is, you know how Charlie Kirk goes around doing these interviews, or he kind of goes to the colleges and people come up and ask him questions or just kind of debate him mostly. Somebody went up to him and in one of these and made some claims about, I believe, getting attacked by some white Trump supporters. And you just got to see what Charlie Kirk does. It's freaking hilarious.
Now we're talking about crimes. Threatening to rape you is an intent of a crime. Did you go to the police? You file a police report? You hire an attorney? You sue the school? Did you go to the civil rights office? You file a civil rights complaint? Did you do any of that? Because you should.
Okay.
No, did you? Tell me. Yes or no?
I did not. But
why?
I'm not going to argue with you.
But you're coming in front of 2,000 people to say it. Why did you not go to the university and say this happened?
Okay, because how would I report them?
Anyone. There's hotlines all over this campus. You guys have nothing but, like, if something happens to you, I think you're making this up. I think you're doing this to try to make a point.
Okay.
I don't think there's any evidence.
I can promise you, God, as my witness, I'm not. Anyways.
No, but seriously, why don't you today commit? Let's do this. I'm going to show you the university official, and why don't you go file a Department of Education complaint, and let's find these terrible people that did this to you. Can we agree?
Okay.
Okay. And by the way, we'll be able to look at security camera footage, and we'll see.
Okay, I'll think about it.
But you didn't do that.
Can I try to finish?
Think about it. Hold on. Why wouldn't you want to do that immediately?
Can I talk?
No, but you're making a serious accusation. Please,
And I'm not going to argue with you about my personal experiences. Anyways.
It didn't happen, man.
Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I feel like every time I step foot on this campus, I have a wall of vitriol and hate at my back. And to the audience, I say to you, these are your fathers, these are your siblings, and these are your neighbors. So y'all need to clock them. And I hate overgeneralizing, but I'm not going to say all Trump supporters are racist, but a good amount. Anyways, my question to you is, if you have one message to say to these people with the hate in their hearts, what would you tell them?
I would tell you to stop lying.
What would you tell them? Not to me.
No, honestly, I think you're Jussie Smollett at this campus. I think you're completely making this open up. I think you're a complete liar because I am now giving you an opportunity to report this at the I will bring this to Linda McMahon, the head of the Department of Education, the federal government. I will make sure these people are arrested by Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. And you'll say, oh, I'll think about it. Because you're making this up. You're doing this for a political purpose. So will you know, seriously, Kash Patel will get involved, yes? It's a hate crime. That's not acceptable. Well, hold on, no, will you do this or not?
That's really cute, Charlie, but I'm trying to give you the opportunity to alleviate hate within this group of people who have a shared ideology.
But hold on a second, there's no hate, there's just love of America here in this audience. That's all that's here, Charlie. But back to you. I heard your accusation. I'm now going to go to the University of Tennessee and tweet this and say, hey, this is a serious accusation. I want the governor to get involved, by the way. The governor's get involved. I'm going to call Marsha Blackburn. I'm now going to call Bill Clinton. I know all these people, and we're going to find out really quickly if you're telling the truth or not, because you just came in front of 2,000 people, and we're going to go bring in the police, we'll bring in the FBI, because what you just said is unacceptable. You said Trump supporters called you the N-word. That is no place in America, and they threatened to rape you. That is no place in America. But you know what else is no place in America? Lying and saying it happened to you. So we'll find out really quick if you're telling the truth or not.
That's cool, but like, can you answer my question though? If you
my message to everyone in the audience: keep loving America.
Okay.
But what about loving? Just so you know, this is going to become a very big issue. We're going to put this on social media because nowhere in America should you be allowed to go in front of a microphone with no evidence, no willingness to report, no likelihood to talk to police and say, oh, this happened to be at night, and ruin the reputation of half the country. And say that someone will go with me and call me the N-word.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You'll be hearing from a lot of institutions, and if you did indeed lie, you will be civilly liable for smearing this university publicly for a very big number. We'll find out if you're telling the truth.
That's something else. Get Marsha Blackburn involved.
I will. Thank you.
Get Kash Patel involved.
What was he said? Make sure you act.
Make sure you have a lawyer. I mean, what do you guys think? Did he go overboard, or was it founded? I would call a lie. I don't know. I couldn't see any Trump supporters necessarily saying the N-word and then saying they would rape that person. Wow. Even if it is true, he brings up the right point. Why didn't you go turn it in? Campuses are pretty strong about stopping that crap. There's cameras everywhere. A lot of campuses have buttons that you just press all over the campus, and a cop will show up like that. So I don't, yeah, I get why he pushed the topic for sure. Oh, the youth of America. Yesterday we talked for a second about how they were kind of in some schools trying to teach kids about Islam now, but it's sort of taken on a different turn. And in this video you can see they're now holding their mass in a Christian church.
I would not have thought that on the eve of
in England,
Lent, that
or actually
Ramadan would be celebrated in the St. George's Chapel, Windsor. Remember the place where we saw, the final
St. George's in Windsor Castle,
the funeral service of Her Majesty the Queen. But that is exactly what happened. Let's show you a clip.
I mean, if they don't have their own building, I guess, and it's just, I mean, I don't know. How would they feel if we held a Christian mass at one of their mosques? You know, that's all I'm saying. I don't know the entirety of the situation, but I know a lot of people are not happy about it. There's towns now across America that are, playing the prayers over the loudspeakers and
Hi, first of all, Nigel, it's great to speak to you. Yes, it's pretty shocking, isn't it? It feels as though all of a sudden, officially, it's the news now that Islam is the faith in Great Britain, and it leads, and Christianity, the Church of
not just Great Britain. How about something a little closer to home, like Paterson, New Jersey?
Paterson is the capital of Palestine in the United States of America. Election has consequences. You see what's going on in Washington, D.C. We'll do this, and inshallah we'll write a fun news in the state.
They call Paterson the capital of Palestine in America and say elections have consequences. So are they like doing it out of spite or what? I don't.
State House for the first time next year. Inshallah, we'll be taking that down. We'll be taking a bus to Trenton, because this is the Mecca in New Jersey for the Muslim community. Paterson, New Jersey. And that's what Ramadan is all about. Come together, get closer to our deen, to our religion, and pray. Pray, and...
So I'm just asking how you guys feel about it. Yeah, I have friends too. It's I don't have a problem at all with Muslims being in the country, and I obviously a lot of people profiled them as terrorists way back in a ridiculous way, but I think what people are saying, there's certain areas where it's sort of overtaking Christianity maybe, and I don't know. Just asking what you guys think of it. Let's take a look at what Trump's saying. We talked about the Houthi attacks yesterday in Yemen. Trump's got a little bit to say about it, so we're going to take a look. Let nobody be fooled. The hundreds of attacks being made by Houthi, the sinister mobsters and thugs based in Yemen, who are hated by the Yemeni people, all emanate from and are created by Iran. Any further attack or retaliation by the Houthis will be met with great force, and there is no guarantee that force will stop there. Iran has played the innocent victim of rogue terrorists from which they've lost control, but they haven't lost control. They're dictating every move, giving them the weapons, supplying them the money, and highly sophisticated military equipment, and even so-called intelligence. Every shot fired by the Houthis will be looked upon from this point forward as being a shot fired from the weapons and leadership of Iran, and Iran will be held responsible and suffer the consequences, and those consequences will be dire. So it's pretty serious, actually, when you look at it. So say there's another Houthi attack out there in the Red Sea or outside of it, are we going to immediately retaliate on Iran, and how so? And Iran's fairly distant from that area. I mean, so it's not like going directly after the people responsible. Not to say that they wouldn't do that anyway, but how do you guys feel about that one? And interestingly, somebody put together something that there might be a hidden message within the message. Shots fired equals 104. Shots fired 2 times. 104 is JFK Jr. is alive. JFK alive. Shots fired 2 times equals 228, which equals the best is yet to come. And Trump does like to do things like that. If you saw in the intro, the little misspelling thing, there's always something connected to it in an interesting way. And because of what's going on, I guess, and I don't know entirely what this means, 9 U.S. tankers all flying under the call sign Gold are in the air, while a significant number of fighter jets are being repositioned, likely for deployment to the Middle East. So I assume this is all connected stuff. Check out this post I saw today. I thought this was kind of cool. Wouldn't that be cool? John Lennon was still alive. Wouldn't that be a mind blower? Would that blow your minds? What if the real Paul McCartney didn't die, but just wanted out, you know? So they did the kill you off thing, and then they did it to all of them. I don't know. Just a theory. Thought I'd show you that. One of those things that came up. In some other kind of random news, Mexican President Sheinbaum reports that her phone and email have been hacked. And Elon Musk claims that ActBlue and other left-wing NGOs are financing terrorists to target Tesla and X dealerships. If you've seen the attacks still happening. Another Trump post I wanted to look at with you guys here. The pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by AutoPen. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. That's pretty important, but the necessary pardoning documents were not explained, so where they're going with this is really actually kind of interesting. They're saying, what if, you know, Trump gets rid of whatever allows him to use AutoPen, which was put into place under Obama. There's a few things that Obama used AutoPen for as well. Would that make them null and void as well? And we'll take a little bit further look into that. What if it wasn't about the AutoPen? It was about past presidents. I'm pretty sure it was just started under Obama, so it wouldn't be too many presidents, but Trump's never used AutoPen for executive orders. Specifically, you always see him sitting down, signing by hand, and it is pretty key in the Constitution. It shall sign it by hand. Trying to remember. Yeah, it was when he was in France in 2011 that Obama put this into place. And I thought I have somewhere here. I think I have the specific. Obama was first president to use AutoPen to sign a law in 2011. He first signed the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2012 while he was on vacation in Hawaii. He also used it to sign a 4-year extension of certain provisions of the Patriot Act in 2011 while he was in France. Republican Tom Graves argued the constitutionality of this action, specifically Article 1, Section 7, when he signed the NDAA, citing that if the president was hospitalized, what if the president was hospitalized? Well, it would stop a group of radical cabinet members using AutoPen to push forth a separate agenda. The DOJ determined it was okay to do at the time, so, it very well could go to the Supreme Court. And I don't know what the specific pieces of the Patriot Act tied up in that are, but we can take a quick look here.
Going on today, and here are two things we thought you should know. President Obama made history by authorizing the first use of the AutoPen signature to sign an extension of the Patriot Act while he was in Europe. Now, the AutoPen is basically a mechanical pen. Congressman Tom Graves, a Republican from Georgia, is asking the president to confirm that he saw the bill before giving the go-ahead for the AutoPen. Reports say the White House planned to fly that bill to the president, but it would have reached him after the midnight deadline. And
so back in 2011, they were going to fly it to him so he could sign it, but they weren't going to make their deadline to extend whatever that particular act was. So he came up with the AutoPen thing. Very clever there. Oh, bummer. Moving forward, a few other things I wanted to share with you. Trump's been talking a lot about the J6 subcommittee. So Adam Kinzinger, God, I can't stand him, put out a response.
So I just saw that Trump is threatening the January 6th committee again. Listen, this dude knows, he knows that this is the thing that embarrasses him. He won't admit it embarrasses him because he's trying to pretend like he didn't do anything. He's obsessed. He's more obsessed with me and Liz Cheney than his freaking golf score. Hey, Trump, bring it on, dude. You weak, whiny, tiny man who, by the way, I saw a picture of you this weekend. You're hiking up your pants now to really just below your man boobs and you're sweating so much. Looking pretty bad there. But bring it, man. Stop with all the big mouth talking stuff. You're a grown man. You don't talk like one, but you're a grown man. Come on, dude. Bring it.
I think Adam Kinzinger wants to see action come out of it. What do you guys think? Hey, I think they can make that happen. He's such a dumbass. Have you been drinking, sir? Man. And he's from Illinois, isn't he? God. We got a crew here, don't we? Moving forward. What else did I want to show you guys before we get going here? We've got an update phone call with Tina Peters. We might look at that here a little later. Kinzinger wasn't the only one ripping on Trump. This guy, I guess he's an actor too, was doing the same. Check it out.
I'm going to tell y'all who I am. All of the Latinos for Trump. All of the blacks for Trump. All of the veterans for Trump. All of the victims and families of 9/11 for Trump. All of the people that's still driving around in a Cybertruck, Tesla, whatever the case may be. You know, there's people out here laughing at you right now.
His name is Tyrese, I guess. I have no idea who he is. It said he was an actor.
Who that man is was on full display on the first go-round. Now listen, there's a lot of people that says, look, I don't care about none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Trump gonna help us to get money. Well, y'all see the economy, you see the stock market, you see what's going on, you see all of this unprecedented amount of power and access he's given to a man named Elon Musk because he donated over $250 million to his campaign. I didn't really know that politicians were actually for sale, but we're experiencing this in real time. I'm going to give you an early prediction.
What is it with people and Elon Musk? All right, even if you don't like him, which there's plenty of people that don't, just stop and take a deep look at what he's doing. If anybody out there doesn't like it, it's because they're wrapped up in the corruption. They're wrapped up in wherever this USAID money was going and all the other money that's being used fraudulently. They're going to figure out from these audits. So I don't know. People like him must be getting a slice of the pie somehow.
In the history of Trump, he has pretty much had fallen outs with every political figure in every position of anyone he has ever hired. They've all sued him. They've all tried to expose him. They've all tried to write books. They've all went balls to the wall to try and take him out on all level. It's one thing to be Democrat and have a problem with a Republican. It's another thing to say these are all of the people that you hired yourself, and all of your lawyers and everybody that was in Trump's cabinet have all went after him on the first round. If you don't think that's going to happen again on this round, just sit back and watch. And one of the biggest predictions, and I almost want to start a website or release my own coin around this idea. The biggest fallout that's waiting to happen, and it's going to be monumental with the things that will be exposed from this, is going to be the fallout that happens between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I can almost bank on it. I smell it, see it from a million miles away. This is a beautiful dance right now. Unprecedented amounts of power and access. Federal jobs. People are out here hurting and suffering. The new word for neo-Nazi, the new word for Ku Klux Klan is called DEI. Y'all understand that? Unprecedented amount of power and access. And he does not have a background in any of these things. But the most legendary, monumental fallout waiting to happen, where Elon Musk is going to expose every secret imaginable. It's all coming. I'm letting y'all know that now.
Okay.
And outside of that prediction, I want to also say to all of the Latinos for Trump, all the veterans.
I gotta admit, I don't get where this is going. He's saying he knows it's gonna happen, but he's mad about it. I know they're trying to push a fight between Elon and Trump, and they just can't do it. It's like pissing him off, but is this like one of the stages of after denial? Is this like the acceptance stage? Like, man, I know we're all going down. But still got a little bit of anger stage going there.
For Trump, all the blacks for Trump, all the Asians for Trump, all of the anybody, does not matter. All the Republicans for Trump. I'm praying for you. I'm actually an empath, and people are online laughing and making a mockery. He told y'all who he was. He told y'all what he was gonna do. Yo dumbass drunk, you gonna fuck around and find out. All the above. But in the midst of all of this mockery, saying you voted for him, and like he's done many, many times before, you vote for him, and then now you're suffering for someone that you ended up supporting. You had your choice between Kamala Harris. That didn't work for you, and that's fine, because that's the beauty of democracy, right? We get to vote. But it doesn't do anything for me to see so many people in so much pain, losing their jobs, struggling, suffering, in all of this pain,
I get
losing
that
their
part of what
homes,
he's saying.
all of their savings, all of their retirement plans. At your age, you may have had that job for 20, 30.
But if he knows that all this other stuff's going to happen, surely he knows that stuff's going to get fixed too. So I don't know. I didn't want to play this video that long, but I kind of had to let it roll here. And I just have no idea where he's going with this crap. There's still like 4 minutes left, but we'll just keep on trucking here. We are winning. I mean, there are a lot of good things happening. I think whatever's happening now, they're really rushing it. I don't know what this stuff about the Easter timeline was. I threw that in the intro, that video I came across. Do you think there's something about the Easter timeline of something particular? Tell me in the chat. We're going to put on our main video now, guys. This is supposed to be interesting. I've been really wanting to see it, and they finally put it out. It's from a few days ago, so let's check it out and have some fun.
Right. All right, folks. Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm with the one, the only, Roseanne Barr. And Roseanne has a lot on her mind, as she always does. And so let's just kick it off, Roseanne. I mean, I've had a lot of controversial guests on, and I know a lot of the guests I've had on, I guess, have gotten under your skin. Me?
Well, no, it's not just you. You know I love you, Nino.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm glad.
You know
and listen, and I want to say this first. Man, I have, and obviously the direction we're going to go with this is going to be about the anti-Semitism that's out there. And I've had a lot of guests that have come on my show talking about, Jews are demons, Jews are bad, Jews are the problem. And I just, it makes me cringe. I'm not going to lie, because I don't believe that. But I do believe, now tell me if I'm right on this, there is a certain faction of Jews that control the damn world. Am I right in saying that?
No, you're absolutely wrong in saying that.
I'm wrong in saying that.
You're totally wrong.
Okay, well then I stand now. That's why I wanted to have you on.
To have this opportunity to speak, and I'm tell you why. Because I've watched anti-Semitism destroy the Democrat Party, and now I'm seeing it start to eat in on the Republican.
Yeah.
Conservative, but remember, the first part of conservative is the word con. Okay, and they are just money people, and they will spout they don't have no core beliefs. They just want money, and they're good actors. They wasn't good enough to make it in Hollywood. That's why they go to Epstein Island with all the actors, so they can fuck them, when they're in the maritime law, under maritime law.
Yeah.
See, But yeah, that is wrong. And here was a terrifying thing, David. I saw it. I saw it come in strong with Obama. That's the gift he gave to our country. That was the hope and change and the audacity. I call it the fucking audacity of hope. And
You know what I really think?
what?
I think aliens control everything.
I do too.
I do too. I think there's a higher
I know they
order
ain't
here.
human. I
No.
know whatever they is, it ain't human. And I'll get to
I
that.
agree. I think it's alien. I think it's interdimensional beings, whether we call it a spiritual war, galactic whatever. I think it's something beyond our comprehension.
I'm here to connect dots, Jake.
You call
Nino.
me Jake.
Oh yeah, I thought you was myself. I call him by his sister's name. I called
fucked
him.
up.
I called him Jenny the other day. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I really do.
10-year-old.
I think there's a hierarchy to this, and that eye at the top of the
Well,
pyramid.
I'm about to tell you where you're right and where you're wrong.
Okay, so I'm right with the aliens.
No, you're not right about that.
No, I'm
Not
right about the
anything.
aliens control it all. They control it all.
But they don't know that they do.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
No, you don't. But I want you to
You're
listen.
saying the aliens don't know that they do.
The aliens have no idea that they control everything on this planet. Just let it sink in. I really want you to hear me because I don't talk on the other people's level. I talk about
I got you.
God
I'm
24/7.
getting
I
it.
talk about God 24/7. I slip some dirty jokes in there now and then just to make God laugh.
No, I
Which he
absolutely
does.
understand what you're saying.
I think, here's what I think. I think Adam and Eve's was the aliens.
So you're
they
saying
were
that we were put here on their home turf,
Yeah.
and we would we're kind of taking over their property.
Well,
We're mad about it.
we're waking up to the fact of how shit runs.
See, I've thought about that.
Did you?
Oh yeah. Because when you look at I don't know, like I just did a show about Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, I
About-
heard about that.
Yeah, that's going to be premiering tonight on my show on my
Is
channel.
that for real? That seems
Yeah,
false.
no, man. There's portals there. There's portals. There's just certain ley lines and nodes on this planet.
Oh, well, I believe that. I know
yeah,
that's
yeah. So there's obviously interdimensional beings that come in and out of there. But I think all these cryptids and these sightings at national parks, I think all these beings maybe were on this planet before us, maybe, and we were put here by God and said, okay, now you have dominion over all things, and it pissed them off. I don't know.
Oh, it's a lot of anything you could say. I like to keep it simple. I think we came down here and it was all perfect. But you know how well, that's a whole 3-hour discussion. We both talk to Juan, but this how I talk to Juan. We only talk about God.
I talked to him a lot about Antarctica. I talked to him a lot about
That's cool.
yeah, all roads do lead there. You know,
Yep.
so
Because that's where seeds are.
yeah.
There's a nice seed bank up there.
Yeah, what's it called? The Rothschilds put that together, didn't they?
We have talked about the Rothschilds too.
Yeah. So let's get into it. So I noticed this kicked off, Roseanne, with which I felt like he was used as a psyop, was Kanye West. This really kicked off with him. There's some other guys. There's some other hosts out there that really started putting this out into the channels, into the social media, and it started catching fire. The anti-Semitism started catching fire, and I watched Kanye. Just really take this and run with it. He went on Alex Jones. He went on a bunch of different shows. And I mean, the stuff that he was allowed to say, because he's a black man, that's why I think he was allowed to say the things that he said.
And Obama too.
And Obama, correct. Obama started, but not like Kanye. Kanye went full.
Obama brought the normalization of the name Hussein here.
Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
I mean, because the owners of the world, they use, they have puppets, and if anybody thinks they would be above the puppetry, like Trump is, how would they survive?
Do you think Trump has animals?
I think Trump is David and they're Goliath. And I think we are too. But I think that people who have souls were put here particularly to this is what I think. I think, well, God wanted us to come down here and wake up to our potential as human souls. And it's taken a real long time and horrible things for us to get there. But you know what they say, the time you can really imprint a child is when you use trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can mind control them. And
right. They use altars, correct?
Yeah, they create altars through torture and sexual torture.
Right.
And children. And then, they have their bot. They have their creation who will speak what they tell them to speak. So they have no authenticity, but they appear to be authentic. Like their wife appears to be authentic and their children. And what was the reason for that? There had to be a reason for that. And remember that whole Y2K thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody brushed by that.
Yeah. Everyone was anticipating something big to happen. I never believed in it.
Well, it did.
But hold on. It wasn't so much the Y2K. It was 9/11 happened right after that. So it's kind of, they built this up for that. And then boom, we got hit with 9/11 a year later.
Yeah.
So something did happen. Something did happen.
Something did happen. And, something did happen. And only a few people know what it was. A lot of people guess, and they just, my God, the right in their new anti-Semitism, they really love saying that Israel did it. Because
hold on. Let's take this back for a second. Let's talk about Kanye. Do you agree with me when I say he was a psyop?
He was heavily drugged and had a psychological handler whose job is to gaslight you. I know because I lived through it. Jeez. When I was as famous as Kanye, and I only needed one name.
You're still famous.
Well, but back then I had to have armed guards and all that shit. I had to have bodyguards and security whenever I fucking wanted to Taco Bell.
But I look at Kanye as he rushed in.
They isolate you, and
he rushed in the new hatred, the newfound hatred that that's picking up in the media, that other hosts are picking up on the hatred for, or the anti-Semitism. I'm seeing this, like, he really kicked it off.
It came into the black community in Chicago.
They're saying, so you're saying Obama kind of brought it in, and now Kanye is like the dynamite. Boom.
The communists, it's communism 101. It's called the color revolution. First you divide the people on, policy, most of which your party wrote.
Yeah.
And then you go out there and tell the people, look at this law, we've got to get amended or thrown out. Well, you fucking wrote it. I mean, it is such a yank. And the whole time it's look over there, because the fact is they are draining our wealth and our treasury dry. They are using I've said this for years and they all call me crazy, but I love that they call me crazy once I know that people are now aware of how crazy they are. Imagine fighting them alone every fucking day with the network on their side. think about it.
Yeah. And you actually did that yourself. So I can't even believe you survived this long.
Oh, I didn't do it myself.
But outspoken and as opinionated as you are, how many times did they try to shut you up?
All the time, because, you know, they don't like truth. One time I was asking God, how come you keep on, you know, pressing on me that I must break something down and tell the truth about it in order to get it into a joke that'll pay my fucking bills, you know, or that people will like and repeat. And, you know, when they repeat your jokes, man, that's some power. That's powerful shit. That is like rap music.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Oh.
some of your jokes turns into slogans, you know, and some, as I've written and heard, they show up in presidents' debates. They show up all over the fucking place, your lines, such as, they got the chickens voting for Colonel Sanders. That was that was in the 2008.
Now you said that or what?
Yeah, on my special.
Wow.
I was on my HBO special. I've done 4 of those, you know.
Yeah, you got a new series coming out or something. What is that, on Netflix or what is it?
No, it ain't nowhere. It's, oh God, I love saying this, but can I tell you all that stuff later? Because that's God. Everything's God, you know. So I don't know where I'm at with this, but he makes me want to tell the truth so I can be funny. And then I'm like, hey, can I ask you a question? He's like, of course you can, Roseanne. What's the question? Because we sit and talk like this all day, basically. So I says to him, why do people hate hearing the truth, yet they always praise the truth teller? And God says to me, you got it backwards, Roseanne. They only praise the truth teller after they've been dead about 2,000 years, and only if they were killed or tortured and stripped of their skin and shot and hung and stabbed and chased down by a mob and set on fire. They don't like them when they're telling the truth.
No, hold on.
They like them after they're dead a real long time, and then they can idolize them. But if that same person showed up today, they'd surely do the same to her or him.
Have you ever heard they only talk good about you? People only talk good about other people when they're at their funeral. You ever heard that? Yeah, that's true.
That's why I said, and I put it in my will, if any of my children or family try to have any kind of fucking funeral service for me where people from Hollywood will come up and praise me, they will be cut out of the will.
You're not going to give a shit.
Yeah, I will. I'm that bitter.
Promise you, you're not going to give a shit.
No, I won't give a shit.
So,
but still, just for the record, because I really think, you know, the record, which we're all fighting about now up in DC.
Do you get along with anybody in Hollywood? Are you have any friends in there that you talk to, or are you just kind of an outcast? Because I know Jim.
I'm the queen of Hollywood now. You wouldn't friggin' believe it. Everybody they fired and did dirty to is working for me now, bitches. And I'm about to launch my own fucking network where I will be programming my network myself with people I think is good and good writers and good message and good family stuff. Even though I'm swearing a lot now, I will not be swearing on the network because I've signed. My lawyers have assured me that I won't be swearing on that network. But yeah, I'm building, and so are a lot of people down here in Texas and a lot of other places. Well, we're going to build another kind of Hollywood where good stuff is told to build people up, not tear them down, not divide them, but unite them, build up their heart and their soul, and return to their source who put them here.
I told Jim that. Jim Caviezel, I talked to Jim a lot, and I was like, dude, you just wait. I was like, it's going to go the other direction. And he was kind of doubtful. I don't know, Nino. I don't know. And I was like, it's going to go the other direction. There's going to be a new Hollywood. The new Hollywood's coming. And that was 5 years ago.
It's going to, pretty soon, everybody on their laptop's going to make.
Yeah. And you can make a song now with AI, have zero musical talent.
Yeah.
And everything's done AI now. I mean, this is going to be the game changer. Everybody, look, there's no more legacy fame. There's no any more iconic fame. Everyone now is just about numbers, followers. Attention is the currency, and it's about social media. It's about AI. It's just a different game now. It's about influencers, podcasting. It's not. The fame has changed, right? You for one can speak on that. It's completely different now, correct? It's different. Everything's changed. It's not that old Hollywood fame anymore.
It has not changed in the public's mind as much as it has indeed changed in the business world, worldwide. And that's fantastic. Wow, what a revolutionary thought that you would try to make content to please, the families that like to be entertained together in front of, the tube, not have to not watch, they can watch stuff together. You know what I mean? That's so important. It's really important. And sometimes people would have, I know on the Roseanne show, people would tell me, well, we have a neighborhood Roseanne night, all the neighbors comes over.
And people still do that?
I hope they do, because people have to really start talking to each other.
I wave at my neighbors here and there, but I don't know who the fuck my neighbors are.
Really, you should.
I should, but I mean, I don't. I mean,
you never was in the military, huh?
What's that?
You was never in the military.
But I mean,
you ought to try going in there to boot camp.
I lived boot camp. But what do you think boxing was? Boxing was hell on earth.
Really?
Oh God, man.
Did you have people like threaten to put you in the brig if you did it wrong?
Dude, boxing is the most brutal, relentless sport there is. There's nothing tougher than that sport, man. It's the most brutal, hellacious, pimps and hoes. It's you train like a Spartan. There's no boot camp's easy compared to boxing. Getting ready for a championship fight, believe me.
Are you kidding?
Oh, not.
I was just saying that you need to get. I think you need to get more structure in your being.
No, I'm good.
No, you ain't good.
I'm good. Trust me.
No.
Yes,
I'm here to straighten your ass out. You ain't good.
I'm good. I'm telling you, I'm good. Hey, how many people can say they're 5 years sober? That's pretty good. Now, if I was still drinking,
almost no one.
That's called structure. That's called structure. That's called a belief in God.
That is some inner. That isn't
that's
the
strength.
Inner ladder. Yep, you're climbing it.
Yeah, I'm not done any drug. I'm completely sober for 5 years.
Why would you fucking want to do that?
Because I'm just better. I'm rewiring my system, man. I'm rewiring everything. This whole program here is getting rewired. I'm doing everything different now. Was
your whole life about alcohol or something?
Well, growing up in El Paso, a border town, yeah, man, it's crazy here. You start going to the bars when you're 14 years old. We had a third world country to our disposal. Like you just go. You're going to
Didn't your parents have alcohol in their house?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just culture here. There's culture here. I was
go down to bars.
Yeah, and you just grow up fighting, getting thrown in jail. It was insane. It was a different life. I mean, I knew everybody. That's why here on the border, I could tell you what's going on.
Where were all your grandmas?
They did the same thing. Everyone did it. I mean, it's like that's just life, man. Everyone went to Juarez and got fucking hammered. Okay. That was just the culture here. It's like,
okay, I get it.
I was stealing cars by the time I was 12 years old, taking them over there, getting stripped down, getting paid $2,500 a car. I was running drugs by the time I was 16, 17, making a lot of money. By a junior year, I made $150,000 just by.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And so
I'm trying to get my grandsons to work at fucking McDonald's.
But I mean, look, that was back in the day when I was a young kid. But no, I was doing it illegally. Everyone was. But I mean, that's just what you did here, and that's why I understand the culture here. So I mean, I lived it, and I understand what's going on the both sides of the border. And
what do you think's going on down in at the border and that whole thing? What's going on with it?
They're organizing. They're organizing for war. They're getting ready. Yeah, the cartels are uniting.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, they're organizing. So I think first the disruption will happen in
Not just
Mexico.
the cartels either. That's the funny
No,
part.
Claudia Sheinbaum Claudia Sheinbaum works for them. She's cooperating with Trump, but she works for them. So how this plays
I
out,
don't know who that is. I don't
Claudia
know who that.
Sheinbaum's the president of Mexico.
Oh, that's the one that's a commie.
Yeah, she was installed. Correct. Yeah. So it's going to be real interesting. Like the military's here. I go down to the border. I put it up on my Instagram. The military's here. It's crazy. I went down there and they stopped me immediately with machine guns. I was like, whoa. I was like, all right, y'all are doing your job. I just came here to check and make sure. I'm out. See you later. And then there's I've heard they've intercepted.
That's why, because they finally woke up to the fact that they allowed an invaded army into our country.
Yes.
Did they finally wake up to that
Well,
fact?
no. They're. Are you talking about our army? Our army's here, but their army's at the border too. So it's kind of strange. They're just paired off to each other. It's really. I've never seen this in my entire life. I mean, this is something that's. I can't believe I'm witnessing.
So
this.
it's like there's an army of commie invaders on one side and American people on the other.
They're on their side and here's our side, and it's just like it's crazy, and it's like it just seems to me like when they get sick of cooperating, I don't know. I think so, and I think they're going to do something. I think there's going to be some kind of retaliation. Some people disagree with me, but I've never heard of the cartels just quietly going away in the night. I mean, you've interrupted their flow of income. You've cut off.
You think they've been arrested and deported?
Maybe I know that we're down there. We're in there.
Because they said, I saw something on the internet. Of course, you never know what's true, but it said that they've made quite a number of arrests. And a lot of people were self-deporting. I saw a lot of buses where people were just getting on and going home.
You know why I believe Trump has been in charge way longer than we know. I think he's been.
I know it's true. The dash. Let's talk about the dash.
The dash. What's the dash? Oh, the 45-47. Yeah, I agree with you. But because Chapo Jr. and El Mayo were arrested during on Biden's watch right here in Santa Teresa, where I ride my dune buggy, and I can't. They were intercepted right there. That was when they were. What do you mean Biden arrested them? And now they're showing that Biden worked at a fake White House. Have you been seeing this?
Oh, I knew that for a long. I knew that since.
But it was still conspiracy. But now it's coming out like I agree with you.
It was a fake. The January 6th, whatever they call that, overthrow of the government. What do they call that?
Federation. The Federation. The insurrection, but it was a Federation.
Oh, the Pelosi of
Fedsurrection.
It was the Hollywood production of Pelosi's reality show.
Right, her documentary.
She was going to sell to Hulu or some shit.
Yeah.
So that it was all a setup, and it was all like, hey, we are such good Hollywood writers that now we're going right into mind control.
So let me ask you this, because I talked to Jim about this a lot, and he believes in clones and all that shit, and he believes that people have gone disappeared.
When I say Jim Caviezel is the only human I've ever talked to that's more far out than me.
It's true. Yeah. But he's such a good guy.
I don't know, Jim. I mean, the clones, okay. And
he believes it. He believes it. He believes it.
He said, I have a picture to prove it. I said, text me that picture right now. And it's all blurry and I couldn't see shit. I go, I can't see shit of what you're saying in this picture. And he didn't talk to me anymore.
I think.
A lot of
do you think there's? Let me ask you then. Let me ask you.
Really, really religious people have been programmed too, and that's what terrifies me about our country, and why I was so thrilled because I thought the election of Trump, the win, because I knew how they were playing us, and I saw it firsthand. I believe that what happened was that America said no to anti-Semitism. That's what I believe the vote was about for me as a Jew. And
can you explain to me what a Judeo-Christian is? Because isn't that like can you explain to me what a Judeo-Christian is? Because that seems like an oxymoron to me.
No, it is not an oxymoron at all. No, it is not. What it means, actually is anyone who is connected to the Torah. That's what it means. So that's a lot of people, you know, that's a lot of Muslims, Christians, Jews, and even.
So why do Jews call people goyim? Or you know, doesn't it say in there that?
Why do black people call white people crackers?
Well, I mean, yeah, but isn't it in the Torah or in the what is it in the Torah, right? That's what they say that we are, the Gentiles are goyim. Am I right in saying that? Correct me.
No, you're incorrect.
Okay, well, thank you. I like to be incorrect.
Goyim means nation.
Yeah, but I thought it meant what's the word they use? The slang word they use for like
Cattle.
What is it?
They say it means cattle.
Cattle.
Yeah, and but that's a total misconception of what that whole conversation was in the Talmud where it occurred. It was like that was what they did with my tweet when I was doing 3 months of tweets with journalists in Iran about the Iran deal and how it was destroying women's rights in Iran. And they took my one tweet out where I captured a meme and called me a racist and ruined my life and my career. So, okay, that's what I was up against and what I lived through. Because the censorship industrial complex and their NGOs, you know, are getting exposed and they're totally panicking over it. You know, they're totally.
How did George Soros make his money during the Holocaust? Didn't he like sell? What was he selling?
Jews.
Yeah, his father was, right?
He robbed the Jews
Through insurance or something like that. He was selling insurance.
He was a Nazi slave. He didn't choose to do that when he was 14. And that's how he saved his life, by going in and robbing the Jews before they were sent to be gassed. And that's how he saved his life. And that is why he hates every single government on earth, because, you know, he doesn't say it, but I always watch him.
Yeah, but the guy's I mean, he's a threat to humanity at this point.
He is a middleman, and he's the face they put in the window. But they are.
Is he even still alive? How old is he? 95? 90?
I think he's 500 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how's that guy even alive? I mean, can he even like? My dad's 90, and
his son is a transhumanist.
Yeah.
And he's marrying Hilda, or whatever her name was, that was Hillary's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Uma Abedin.
Yeah, with the husband, with the insurance policy that sits up there in the East District of New York with all the other shit the FBI's hiding.
Yeah.
I guess Cash went up there and loaded up a truck and took it right down to Pam Bondi. We'll see what she does.
Yeah, but he's bypassing her now.
Good, he should.
Did you hear about that? What do you think about Pam Bondi?
No, I never heard about that, but I did pray that that would happen.
Yeah, he has a direct line to the White House now. I just saw this. Good. And what's your thoughts on Pam Bondi? I mean, she promised the list. She promised a few things she hasn't delivered yet. Do you think it's strategy, or do you think she's compromised?
I think they're going to take her down. I think she's their number one target. Like, I can't remember.
Who's going to take her down?
The left. She's the easiest one for them to take down of the Trump administration.
You think she's going to bend?
I think that they have done a thorough search of her past stuff in Florida, and some of it isn't too flattering, I've heard, and some of it is dark. That's what I've heard and what I've read. And, you know, I've been reading and studying up about how Florida was used by largely CPS workers that take kids out of.
Yeah, kidnap. Legal kidnapping. Legal trafficking.
Single black mothers. And then they've been sent from Florida to the Ukraine.
Wow.
And, you know, all of that is about to come out.
Yeah.
And that's why they're freaking out, and they're trying to do a bread and circus show to divert the masses' attention from the fact that we could have housed every homeless veteran that fought for this country, was wounded, whose family sacrificed. We could have housed each of them with the money we sent to go up Zelensky and his pals' noses and just play the war game for sound bites. The thing is, our country was captured by people who just, the export is war. And, you know, that's what Trump stands against, and me too, because that shit is obsolete now that we're in a space age and we have Space Force, and we no longer need weapons of mass destruction. And Trump was just on the verge of speaking with Putin, Xi, and I can't remember anybody's name, but they were talking about denuclearization. And then the stolen election and the whole January 6th, whatever it was called, was when they covered up the fact that they stole the election. And they overthrew the government of the Republic of the United States.
So are you in the camp of, do you believe this is all theater, Roseanne? Do you think this has all been theater from 45 to 47? Do you think Trump has secretly really been calling the shots in the Biden administration, letting him do just enough in the sandbox, make a mess, but we had the perimeter secured? I do. I believe that. I just don't know to what extent the theater was happening. I don't know how big of a movie production this really is, but I think there is a movie production here.
Well, it's Wag the Dog. I mean, that was the most precise movie on about what's happening. The military, pharmaceutical, prison, industrial complex has the same four owners, and, you know, they got foundations where they make sure that there are captives that they can experiment on for making bioweapons, and then force the American taxpayers to fund their own mutilation, death, making us sick, poisoning us. We're paying for it.
Yeah.
So we, as the aliens of that kind of system, because that ain't no system a human being would create. Only demons and
Right. I agree with you on that.
possessed of, I think they're possessed of dark forces, Satan, and which we call the snake, and you know, the snake mentality of just win at any cost, slither through, shed the evidence, all of it, you know, which comes into talking about lawfare and how that overthrew the Constitution of this country. And nobody's talking about it. You know, they're all talking about Kim Kardashian's big fat ass, or Kanye West was a great diversion. And I like to juxtapose the shit they're selling on the interwebs. You know, that fake news. Talk about fake news. God. They even had Rocky cheating on Rihanna now and having a baby with another woman. And, you know, it's got like more views than anything I put out there.
Yeah. That's
People
the way it
want
is.
their bullshit.
They want their gossip, their celebrity gossip. Yeah.
They're addicted to bullshit because they know they got to have it in order to live through this system of bullshit.
Bread and circus. It's bread and circus. They did it in Rome. I mean, it's proven proven to work.
Communists do it, and they've taken over everything. And now
Just
they're
imagine, just think about this, Roseanne.
They're having a big fit that the American public
Is
wants
waking
their
up.
goddamn money back. All the money you stole.
So
from
that's
us,
the purpose. So I think
want
this
our
is
fucking money back, bitches.
so I think
You
this
owe
is
it.
being done in phases. I think Doge is revealing the scandalous useless spending, the wasteful spending, and getting the
Here's
people
where it's
pissed
being
off.
spent on influencers. Hello, that's where they're
Yeah.
making the money. Slinging the
Yeah.
bullshit of the fucking cannibal class. Fuck them.
I
They're
agree.
going down though, because artificial intelligence, I figured it out. I was quite dismayed, but then I was reading I was doing my studies and talking to God and do what I do, and I do. And I am a Jew, okay? So I think that I'm probably the foremost authority on Jews and Jewiness and Judaism as anybody else, because I don't talk about it, I do it. I actually do it. And boy, it's a beautiful thing. And I know where they got all the shit they use. And, we have an enemy, and that enemy comes from the devil. And that's the story. That is the story of Adam and Eve. And it's the basis of the Bible, too. We have an enemy that does not want for our well-being. And it
You
keeps
said
on
you wanted to talk a little bit. You wanted to talk, but so I'm wrong in saying that it's a certain, what is it? The Zionist? What is a Zionist, Roseanne? That's what is the
A
definition?
Zionist is God Almighty, Hashem, who says in the Torah, I will lead you to Zion, Jerusalem, which he said over 6,000 years ago, and it's all over the Bible. So when they're saying the horrible Zionists, it boils my damn blood, because that is what my God said. That is what my God named it. And that is why I call myself a Zionist, because Zionism is the will of the Jewish people to have self-determination in their native tribal lands. And they keep trying to deny that because they want to destroy every fucking tribe on earth and the holy places that the tribal people walk upon, pray on, and consider their sacred masters. They want that gone from their one world Nazi New World Order bullshit. They hate that we believe in God, not just the Jews. They hate that the Christians, quote Torah every Sunday or whenever they go to their meetings, some Saturday. They hate that Muslims quote Torah and love Torah. And in fact, the Quran says that the land of Israel belongs to the children of Israel. The Quran is also Zionist. So I am sick of imperialist British agents who started this whole fucking mess in the first place, and their goddamned Vatican banks, their City of London, and their big central bank of banks, the Bank of International Settlements in Switzerland, which is about 3 inches away from CERN.
Yeah.
And they're trying to destroy Judaism, and I am not going to let them do it. And how I am going to prevent that is I am going to, not only do it and practice it and pray for it, but I'm going to share it with people in the world, because they need to know. They need to know that these demonic people are mirroring Judaism. And I'm going to take them down on that, because I know what they do. They mirrored it. They reversed it. And I call it the perverse reversal. They turned everything holy into a magic trick, into a black magic trick that, like where they come from, Babylon, requires child sacrifice. And they've been doing it long enough, and it's going to end. And thank God for Trump, because he's going to end it. And so are all the leaders in the world that talked to Trump. And I think that was the agreement. And so anybody who's on the bad side, you don't see a lot of them anymore.
Do you think there's been on the inside here, behind the scenes, there's been some arrests? Do you think there's been people executed? Are you in that camp? I don't know what to think.
I read that JAG and listen to Dr. Jan Halper. They all are saying all that stuff, but I always listen for the anti-Semite to creep in.
Does it?
As my mother calls it, the anti-Semite. They're nothing but dirty anti-Semite.
So do you think it's happening? Do you think there's arrests? And I do. I believe we talk to some of the same circles of people. I've heard there's some things that have happened, but I've heard also this has to be public. So that I've heard this has to go public, and there has to be justice.
I ain't seen nobody arrested except Trump.
Yeah, And look at Michelle Obama and Newsom have a podcast now. What do you think?
Are you shitting me?
Have you seen that shit?
No, but I love watching Newsom trying to clone himself into Trump.
Yeah, it's weird.
Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, he's
Pretty soon he's gonna come
weaseling
out
his
with a-
way into the conservative.
Yeah, he's weaseling it, trying to get to the middle, which
Yeah,
the
he
Democrats
is.
have to do because they went so far left. And I knew that was going to happen when I ran for the Green Party in 2012. And I seen that those bastards, all they were doing in the Green Party was trying to infiltrate the Democrat Party. And I knew that's what they was doing.
Here's what I think's happening. I think Michelle is separating herself from Obama, Barack,
Yeah, 'cause
and I
he's
think
gonna
her. I think her and Newsom are going to try to make a run for it in 2028. Get everyone to like them. They both have a podcast now. Big Mike and Newsom have a podcast, and I think the objective here is to get people on their side, to get in the middle ground, to get the moderates.
Well, everybody's fighting for the middle ground, and
I'm telling you, watch Michelle and Newsom. That's the tactic here. Why aren't they in jail? Why isn't? I mean, sorry. I mean,
I think it's like this. They are so programmed. Excuse me. They are so programmed by the leftist mind rot that is basically when you break it down, and I did discuss this in my run for president. The taxpayer should never be prey of the upper classes, no matter how the upper classes pretend to care for those working class people. But the proof's in the pudding, every Democrat city. So Newsom and Michelle there, they better get on the ball to clean up those Democrat cities, or, the bullshit won't work.
I don't have any sympathy. I know. I think they should be in jail for what they've done.
Well, I think maybe Trump turns people. Here's what I think.
Yeah, he pulled them in. I know. And he says, okay,
No,
now you're going to
it's
red
like
pill the
this.
liberals,
You want
right?
to go to Guantanamo, or you want to play it right? He's the godfather.
Yeah.
He's the godfather of show business, too. Don't forget it.
Yeah, he is.
If I could get Trump to be on the pilot of my show, do you know how many viewers I'd get?
You should do it. I bet you he would do it for you.
Well, we'll see, Mr. Trump. I need to write him apart. I didn't write him apart yet, but I did write a show about
What else can we talk about? That's,
regular Americans saving their country.
what else is pretty controversial? Oh, I know what I want to talk to you about. The Holocaust. Yeah, there we go.
You wanted to talk to me about the Jew thing, but you don't let me say nothing.
Oh, go ahead. The floor is yours. But let's start with let's kick it off with the Holocaust. A lot of people say it did not happen. What's your thoughts on that? And I've heard you kind of hinted to that as well yourself, like making a joke or a remark.
Well, I was just reciting what I read all over the internet, which is the lack of intellectual level of internet readers. It's only documented. It's only documented by the Germans themselves. Say no more, fuckers. You're in on the yank, and the yank all goes to the same place. The tippity top, the owners of the world, none of whom are Jews. The only one who even approaches that shit are the Rothschilds. And like I say, now we'll get real. The Rothschild family works for people who do not work. Get that through your fucking stupid, brainwashed, MK Ultra Nazi programming, America. That's what happened to you in Operation Paperclip. The Germans lost the war, but the Nazis won because they came over here and they instituted their mass mind control thing through all media, and hence getting us ready for the new world order, the Nazi world order, that is, with Klaus Schwab and the WEF. And you know what the bottom line is? It doesn't matter how many Jews are involved in it, because they ain't at the tippy top. But yeah, a lot of Jews work for money and not for anything else. Just like Italians, just like every mafia. Everybody's a fucking mafia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone
But
has their
the
gig.
Rothschilds have a peculiar place amongst the tippity top. And I'm going to tell you who the tippity top is. Because this will blow your mind because you never even thought of it, people. It's never even occurred to you because it's out of the box you're in. You know what I mean? But the tippity top of the stock market, the bank owners of the Bank of International Settlements and the stock markets are the royals.
Yeah.
The kings and the queens and the popes.
It all goes back to Britain and the UK.
imams, and yeah, the rulers of the world are all royals. That's why we say yes, queen. And that's what's great about our country, America. We said, fuck you. We will have no queen. We will have no king. We will have no imam. We will have no pope. But yet we let them come in and run our immigration with that commie pope, run our immigration service, the commie pope. And what do? Well, they just hate Americans. They hate America because
but they still own our money system.
We will never bow to any.
They care not who makes the laws as long as they own the money. And they do. And that's what we're breaking away from now.
They don't just own the money. They own all the real estate in the fucking world and everything outside of maritime law on the high waters, on the high seas, but they kind of own that too. They own every penny on fucking earth, and every time it gets close to where they are almost exposed or caught, you know, where the people want to take them to the guillotines and such, they have their scapegoat crew, and that's the Rothschilds. They're the scapegoaters. And that's why they wear the goat's head and the goat's pin, and they do all that stuff, because it comes from, and I want everybody to know this, it came from a like 15th century Jewish cult. I think they were called the Jacobins. There were thousands of Jewish cults, and there still are today. Just like there's thousands of Christian cults and thousands of Muslim cults. That they make up their own stuff. They got one scripture they say over and over, but they make it up as they go, like my grandma did. But their job as the, I was going to say it comes from the Jacobins. And here's what it says in Talmud, because Talmud was a lot of guys sitting around basically drinking and writing down the brilliant things they had to say. Some are darkly sarcastic. Some are digs at power, because they wrote it because they were in servitude. They had been taken forcibly out of their home and taken to slavery in Rome. And that's why they wrote it. So, and there's lots of, this is based on history, not hearsay. But so the Jacobins, they read there in the Talmud where it says that God will send the Messiah when he's trying to decide when he will send the Messiah. And Christians, they're waiting for their Messiah to come back, so they'll understand.
So what's your thoughts on Jesus?
It says that it will come through righteousness or through sin.
Okay, so here's what I'm
Rothschilds says, because every old pagan cult had a sin eater that took upon the sins of the community and then dived off a cliff, and they felt they were cleansed. So it is so old and Babylonian and pagan and Egyptian, where the Jews came from Egypt, So it goes back to the Bible, and the Bible says this. When they was leaving Egypt, God told Moses, don't take out the heir of Rav. They were Jews, but they worked in the Pharaoh's court, and they intermarried with Pharaoh. And God told Moses, don't take them out because they can never change. And Moses said, hey, wait a minute. He's like me, you know, he's like, wait a minute now. You said anyone can change. So now you're saying you're contradicting yourself. So God said, well, have it your way and see what, you know, FAO. So the first thing they did, I mean, they did so many things, and Torah says that they are the real enemies of the Jewish people. Above all Gentile nations and haters, they are the cause of all the destruction of the Jewish nation because they always serve the power of Pharaoh, not the people. In other words, they are those who want vertical rule. And Jews who do Judaism, we want horizontal rule. So Israel is a place of horizontal rule of the people, but they're going through a civil war over it like we are here.
Yeah.
Against vertical rule with royals on top
On
of
the
it.
very top, right.
And a feudal system of Pharaoh. And so these people, they have been hoodwinked and bamboozled into serving their own demise, and we're paying for it on top of all of that. And then to be called idiots by all the TV shows, it's just the complete perfect storm for people to wake up. And I welcome it because they should see what's happening to children in this country above almost any other country on earth.
So
right under your nose.
you've said many times you're a Jew, but you believe in Jesus Christ, correct? It can help me. I'm confused.
I believe that Jesus was and is a Jew like me.
Right, and
So-
I'm not debating that, but do you
That's
believe?
fine.
But what do you believe that he is a prophet, or was he a Messiah to you?
I believe he is something other than what most people think he is. And I wish they would learn a little bit more about him and what he's actually said and actually did that wasn't recorded 200 years later by Rome. I wish they would really learn about him. And, you know, I'm always going to say, I'm going to teach it, but boy, when you are saying anything different about what the programming is, you will just be scared. You know, you'll
They
be
come and
scared.
lynch you.
But, you know, like, so that's like, okay, well, you'll do it to Jesus again. Okay, I get that. But, you know, that's so telling because what he said and what he actually did is far bigger and greater than anything they're telling people. Anything. And requires no believing because it's actual historic fact. And so I think, you know, that's going to be a mind blower for people, but it's on the way too.
So the Jews have a belief that their Messiah is coming, right? I know that they're going to get ready to sacrifice.
Not our Messiah, it's the Messiah.
Okay, but would it be? Hold on. This is important because I'm confused. I know they're getting ready to sacrifice a red heifer. I think in the middle of this.
That's something I know nothing about. That's a certain cult that I myself and most Jews know nothing about. I've heard about it and read about it.
Yeah, I mean they had a rancher from Texas send them 3 or 4 red heifer cows that are up in Israel. They're
Here's
getting
what I
ready to.
think about it. Because I always think about why would God do that? Because see, I don't think people have anything to do with what's going on down here.
I agree
I
with
think
that.
God is in a war with Satan because it says that in Torah. God is in a war with Satan.
Okay, so you don't agree. You
that's
don't
what
agree with
this
the red
planet
heifer
is.
sacrificing.
No, I think it's like this. I always think it's I always think that everything about Judaism is timeless. It's a time machine, and it was written for today because we can only understand it now because we have the internet. I think what it suggests to me, if I was to do, I do the numbers, I go deep, do deep Torah with numbers. But what it suggests to me is written way back in the day when they didn't have telephones or nothing. But perhaps it could be that the science experiment that the whoever they are, the royals and the eugenicists that the royals pay to keep their bloodlines going at the expense of the rest of the world. I think that it might be about the time when science had progressed and eugenics had progressed to such the point that you could actually clone or create a purely red-haired cow. I think it's
It feels to me like they're following the manual, like scripture to a T, and it's not organic. It's like they're following it to make it happen, so they can bring in, they can rush in the Messiah. You know, it seems like they're following this like a script.
Well, because that's the Jacobin thing. That's a form of mind control that, you know, cults are mind control.
Right.
But the royals like it when we get in religious cults because then they study us. They see what the effects of the torture.
So if they're trying to usher in the Messiah, do you think it's the Messiah that's coming, or is it the second coming of Jesus? What? How did you how do you see it? So if it's the second coming of Jesus, then it's Jesus.
I'm not even going down that. That's tired shit to me. Listen, here's what it really is. King Charles converted to Islam.
Did he? I didn't even know.
Yeah, he did. And you know why?
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because he, although he's head of the Church of England, so that sort of takes away his credentials, and I think he's trying to hide that because that would make English Parliament collapse, which would be a good thing. Because every war that started on this earth is started by the United Kingdom, the British royals, and every penny stolen from everyone on earth goes to them, and it's like another word for Standard Oil. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay, so the Nazi world order, you know, they just basically, they say that a person from the crown will sit upon the temple, the throne in the temple.
Right.
You know all that.
Yeah, yeah. The third temple, is that what you're talking about? The third temple?
Maragavonian tribe, the one they wiped out. The 13th.
Right. I'm not like versed on it, but I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, because they didn't want a Sephardic Jew. They didn't want any Sephardic Jews in the inner 12 family deal.
The 13 families?
Yeah, it was 13, but they got rid of the Muragovians in the Russian Revolution.
So do you think the Messiah or the second coming of Jesus this is what it's all about? I mean, this is a battle of bloodlines. Do you think this is going to happen within the next, in our lifetime? I mean, I would imagine that it has to happen soon because, I mean, the odds are now stacked against us, especially the younger generations with artificial intelligence and the way that is just.
Oh, I was going to say that about why I love artificial intelligence, because it won't be compromised with bullshit, which really will be a step up.
Depends who controls the artificial intelligence.
Well, I'll tell you who's going to control it.
Okay.
The fucking autists, and autists are morally superior to other aliens. I'm one and I know it. So, anyways, what were we talking about?
The autist? What is an autist? Artist?
Yeah, that's what my son used to say when he was in class. He goes, I have this kid, Blake, that he showed me that he had a big bite out of his arm. I go, who the fuck bit you? He goes, oh, that's Blake. He's in my class. He's artistic.
Oh, autistic. Okay.
I go, well, God damn it,
Oh,
nobody.
that's funny, man.
My son was a tad autistic, but I learned how to handle an autistic kid, but I don't recommend it.
I have friends that are
Anyway.
autistic.
What were we saying? Okay, so the eugenicist royals that bathe in, they do hunt people and they do bathe in virgin blood and they do drink it too.
They eat children. They eat children.
I know. Can you fucking, they're not human.
No, that's not human. And if they were, they're far from it now.
It takes 3 generations for trauma to autogenetically, whatever, embed in the system. So
You're talking about transgenerational DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you pass on traits and things like that through
Well, you
genetics.
pass on the need for human blood, like a fucking vampire.
Yeah. But then you can
They
break
are
that.
vampires,
Someone
and
in
they
that.
practice vampire capitalism, which has jack shit to do with supply and demand economics. And Trump knows that. And we are going to, for the first time, I don't know, maybe ever, have a chance to launch supply and demand economics. And I'm very excited about that.
So am I. What's your thoughts on the tariffs? Let's jump into that real quick. What's your thoughts with what he's doing with Canada, Mexico? I think he's lightened up some of the tariffs in Mexico. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think obviously he's trying to create the ERS, not the IRS. It looks like we're going into a different kind of system here.
Yeah, well, basically it's Nasara.
That's what it seems like to me. Yeah.
But everybody calls it Trump Sara.
Anyone who says Nassar is like, oh, conspiracy, you're a nut. But kind of looks that way. Looks like that we're going that way. Didn't happen
Yeah,
the way I
because
thought it
we
was.
all know, those of us who anonymously perused the internet back in the day, we found out, the 2008 HSBC bank hack, it exposed everything that's in Pam Bondi's office then. And everything they've done in the media since 2008, to me, it seems like that was just to cover that up. So that's why part of why they put Obama in there was, a color revolution to divide the races and the classes, and especially to divide Black people against Black people and Jews against Jews, and Jews against Blacks, and Hispanics against Hispanic. Every ethnic group divided against itself, then it doesn't have a voice that is clear. And especially if they're divided from every other working class subgroup, there's not one loud 80% voice, which Trump gave us. This election gave that back to the American people that they, as the alien, have all the power in the world. And we do. We just have to wake up to it. And we are waking up to it. And it's great to see. However, do not be lulled into a deep sleep of buying into any kind of devil thing. And anti-Semitism is the devil. He hates Judaism. He hates the Torah. He hates our God. He hates the Christian God too. And he's not he doesn't really like the Quran at all. He really doesn't like that either. He doesn't
Well, as
like
long as we're fighting
anything
amongst each
good.
other.
He doesn't like anything good except sacrificing kids and getting blood and tissue for his seed banks up there in Antarctica, where the royals are putting all that. After they drop the big one, I guess they'll go live underground in all them tunnels and
Well, that's what they're planning.
start making the seeds after we're all dead.
Right.
I think that's their plan, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. That was the plan. I think we're thwarting it now. I think we're, I think we've kind of intercepted it at least. It's still a fight. What's your thoughts?
Well, there's only one thing that's going to help our side. how these black magicians and such have done of Egypt, the evil people of all races, kinds, including Jews, Italians, Serbians, French. The evil people are all the same, no matter their definition or religion. They're all the same. They're in a cult that requires them to traumatize and torture children to get them to be bots to go out and bullshit people into saying this is reality. And it's not. And they're demonic, backward, hateful, separatist, elitist, eugenicist, evil shit. It just isn't going to work on people anymore because they're too smart. And stuff is going to come out that a lot of people are going to be shocked at. So I felt like, well, I need to tell them. Stuff is coming out that's going to be very shocking. And it will be maybe at that point too late to pick your side.
Yeah.
So you should pick it right now. You got to be on the side of no war, no slavery, no debt slavery, a whole new world that works for.
But the old world has to come down. And that's
Well,
what
it already did.
we're witnessing it now. Yeah.
Well, I said that it fell down in 2008 with the bank hack, and I read those pages. I read those accounts, and they all pointed to Epstein.
Yeah.
Because the Epstein yank, this is also what makes me mad when they say about Mossad, because like these people, all the intelligence agencies on earth, Mossad, whatever, maybe not KGB or whatever it's called now, although that's
They all work for each other and against each other.
Yeah, they're in a little hissy fit,
Right.
but they all work for MI6, the British,
The
they
UK, right.
control CIA, Mossad. That's where they get their marching orders, because the British Empire, although the British Empire owns everything, and it is the imperialist power that created every drop of bloodletting in the Middle East, because it's just a corrupt power that wants oil and nothing else. Oil and money, don't care how many people have to die. And if you can use people, UN, you can use people to as human bait, where they get paid by the UN, which actually comes from United States taxpayers' dollars that's filtered through these various NGOs, all kind of various Soros or Clinton Foundation places. And through those NGOs, your tax dollar, me as a Jewish American taxpayer, my tax dollars filtrated to pay the teenagers of Hamas a lifetime salary, because there's no jobs, but the one job they offer is you kill a Jew and you get, it's called pay for slay, and you'll get paid you'll have a salary for a lifetime. That is what the UN is about.
What's your view on Gaza? Like everything that's happening there. Do you look at it as a genocide, or are you in the camp of let's get rid of these people? Or would you be okay with like if they just moved out of Gaza and relocated? Like refugees. Like I think that's what Trump wants to do, right?
I think they have been under intense Nazi mind control programming through the UN for, what is it, 60 years now?
Right, but I mean,
everything that Hitler taught with the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, who invited Arabs to fight in the Nazi army, and Glenn Beck has that uniform in his museum. The Nazis joined with the Germans to cleanse Germany of all Jews, and the second part of their plan was to cleanse the Middle East of all Jews, and Iran actually means Aryan in Farsi. Okay, so anyway, they have right now, while we were talking about all this Gaza stuff, which I'm going to go back to in a minute, but while we were all focused on the bread and circus show of Gaza and the dead children, which, you know, they took pictures of them everywhere and said they were Palestinian because they like to kill children.
But
That's
I
why
mean, but it's,
that's why they don't put them in them fucking tunnels to protect them.
but I mean,
anyway,
isn't it? I mean, that's what they're doing though. They're killing a lot of women and children, bombing Gaza, right?
I'm talking my narrative. I'm not talking Muslim Brotherhood narrative.
Okay.
And you are.
I just know what I'm seeing. I don't know.
I'm telling you that in our country, the Muslim Brotherhood, Valerie Jarrett and Huma Abedin and, you know, the Obamas and, you know, several other of the left, is an anti-Semitic organization that believes Israel should not exist and that there should be no Jews in the entire Middle East. Right now, every single Arab state, while we were focusing on Gaza, and I'll get back to Gaza, while we were focusing on that whole show, every Arab state since 1967 has been ethnically cleansed of its Jewish population who lived there for thousands of fucking years, particularly in Yemen, in Lebanon, in Syria. Those were the oldest synagogue in the world is in Syria. These Nazi motherfuckers are trying to rewrite Jewish history. And, you know, they pay a lot. They got all the money in the world. My God, the royals, particularly the Saudi Arabian family created by the British royals. I mean, this is Wahhabism, and nobody even talks about the cults of Muslims, although they do talk about the cults of Jews all the time. Nobody in this country can break free of Muslim Brotherhood mind control to recognize the fact that all of the censorship of conservatives is done by them and their friends like David Brock and James Alefantis and people who are very heavily invested in child trafficking networks. And why? You figure it out. You figure it out. Well, one reason is because there's no country on earth right now since I think Y2K caused all of this, but there's no country on earth right now that is not, well, it's changing now, so I shouldn't say all, but just a while back, they were all pedophiles. Putin called it out. Every fucking leader in the Western world was a devil-worshipping pedophile. And I mean, I've known it since 2008. And it's just amazing to me that it's 2025 and people haven't really mass seen it yet.
Yeah, pedophiles run the world.
I've been saying it for so long. It's a pedo Ponzi pirate scheme.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Epstein list? Do you think Pam Bondi's going to release it? So let's get back to that for a second. I mean, do you?
Well, Mel.
Hold on. Let me ask you this: Do you think there's going to be? Do you anticipate any names that are going to be on there? Do you know of any names that are going to be on there?
I do.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that?
I read it in the Belgian press a long time ago.
So you know some of these people that are on there.
It's everybody who wasn't on there.
So why is it a national security threat?
Me and a couple other fat chicks ain't on there. That's it.
Why the fuck is it a national threat to release this? National security.
I'll tell you. Because Wall Street is on it. And they're the ones paying to, as they say, dig in up here in the Southern District of New York. Yeah, if you was to find out your retirement funds, if you was to find out your, come on now.
Yeah.
If you was to find
That makes
out
a lot
all
of
that-
sense, actually.
and that it's tied up in dirty shit,
Yeah.
and then that gets busted and bye-bye retirement funds. That's a riot a minute in every city. So that's why.
Do you think it's ever going to come out?
I think Trump's trying like hell to put a better economic system. And I think he's trying, I think he's trying to resurrect the dollar, which is the smartest thing, I think. Just gold-backed currency, the dollar. I think that's all of it. I think that'll happen. And I know he's fighting to replace something that's already fallen. Babylon already fell, and that's the banks. And they already failed. We already bailed them out once because Obama ran back like a servant to send all of our children's future money to the banks, because they failed, because the fake bubble they created didn't explode and kill as many people as they wanted to kill. These are the royals, and they're the people who work for them, work for the scapegoat Rothschild family, that every time they need somebody to blame when the royals are coming looking guilty and almost about to go to the guillotine, they throw their middlemen, the Jews largely, to the hungry dogs in the street. And they love doing it because that's a lot of sacrificed Jewish.
So that's why these
That's a
psyops
lot
are coming
of
out.
sacrificed Jewish children, which they delight in because they do not like the Jewish people at all. Hence, they worship a fucking goat. There
So
you have.
that's what we're seeing now with this big push of anti-Semitism, is what you're saying. They're getting ready to sacrifice the Jewish people again, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's where they get all their wealth, like Soros. Soros got his money from, robbing dying Jews and, for the Nazis, and then collapsing currencies all over the world, which caused, many, I won't say many.
So
but
the Nazis are the problem. The Nazis are still in control.
It's the Nazi world order.
Yeah.
And they are eugenicists and chemists, and they like to create, what they like to do is gas people or inoculate them or tear their livers out or whatever they want to do, sew twins together, put Indians on reservations, and then study the effects of their brutal sadism. That's their fucking religion. They are Cainites. They are devil worshippers. It ain't no bullshit. And they're after the Jews, and they have been for a long time. And Torah says Amalek, which is Purim is in 2 days, and it says Amalek, that's the enemy of the Jews, and he comes from Gog, and he is Satan. That's what Torah says. So, it says, why does he always hate the Jews? And Torah tells us he hates the Jews for no good reason. For no good reason. It's just low.
So hold on. If there's something I'm getting out of this podcast,
low hanging fruit from a
Hold on.
poison tree. Because whatever starts with the Jews, don't end with the Jews. It goes from the
But
Jews.
what you're
then it goes
saying
to
on
the
this pod-
gays, then it goes to the Spanish speakers, then it goes to
Oh,
the
yeah.
light skinned blacks, then it goes to the people who went to college. Then it goes like Pol Pot did to people who wear fucking glasses. This fucking commie shit is a turd, and it is a tool of the royals too.
So it's
all a
the
yank.
Nazis are
It's all
what's
a
running
fucking
all this
yank.
shit. Yeah.
The Nazis are national socialists. Hello, because they're left and right, and all they want is your fucking liver and your kid's blood. That's all.
Yeah.
That's not too much to ask, is
So
it?
that's what we could get out of
You
this.
to
Is
worship Satan, and you to forswear your God. That's all they want.
fair enough. Roseanne, I love you. Thank you. You've set the
I
record
hope
straight.
I cleared things up.
You did. You
Don't
did.
be
So, look, here's what I
tricked
got
by
out of this. Can I just give my
anti-Semitism. It's the
synopsis?
School of the Royals. It works every fucking time, and it results in the destruction of the people who mouth it or put it in their heart. They don't live.
So
It's
The
the
Roy-
devil.
it's the Royals, the Nazis. That's who's running the whole show here.
Hello,
Okay.
the pharaohs.
And they're pushing the anti-Semitism.
They are the pharaohs.
They are the
They
pharaohs.
founded Switzerland in 1291 with the loot they stole from the temple, our temple in Jerusalem. They laundered their money, 1291, the Templars in Switzerland. And that's where it all starts. It is a war on the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims, or anyone who likes or is connected to the Torah, which many of us think is a book unlike many books.
So it's the Nazi world order.
Yeah.
The Nazi world order. That's what I'll name this.
Okay.
Love you, Roseanne. Thank you for joining me.
Happy Passover. I mean, happy Purim, because what
That's
happens?
the 15th, right?
Yeah, it's Thursday night. What happens? The boomerang, baby.
You think it's going to happen on the 15th?
Oh, yeah, I know it.
All right.
It goes from Thursday to Sunday. So that encompasses every faith. And here's how black magic tries to rip off Judaism. It says, you know, it gets everyone in a mind trance that's terrified because of the stuff they just saw. And that's how they create their blackmail thing, their blackmail web. But that's a ripoff from this of Judaism. Like-minded people praying for the very same thing, that works.
Beautiful.
It really works. Okay,
Roseanne,
see
I
ya.
love you. All right, sweetheart. Thank you.
That's incredibly deep, actually. The war on Jews is so deep. I mean, so what does that mean then? Like the memes we see and stuff, it's all a lot of propaganda. What about when they say like everybody working at a certain television station? Is that more propaganda? Is that what they're saying? That's what I was trying to understand there at the end. I get what she was saying about the Epstein list, and I thought they would talk a little more about that. And maybe these JFK files will be something to keep us busy while we're waiting type thing. I don't know, you know. I don't think they have bad intentions. I think there's just so many misunderstandings as to what's really happening that there's some serious frustration building up, but you can't let it get to that point. Basically, it's got to keep riding along. I think they're moving it forward actually a lot quicker. I think they're moving as quickly as possible. I don't know. It's been a long day. But nonetheless, some news I was looking at. I did see while we were on here about 30 minutes ago, it said Israel started bombing Gaza Strip again, attacking Hamas. So it's interesting. There's more things moving forward there, basically. For better or worse, I don't know exactly. And then let me see if I can find, there's one more story I wanted to show you about Elon Musk's Doge team. They work 120 hours a week. I'm pretty sure that's like 17-hour days, pretty close. With only 168 hours in a week, that means workers would have no more than 6.8 hours of sleep each night, even in the most ideal conditions. Research warns against working more than 55 hours per week and sleeping for at least sleeping for less than 7 hours of sleep each night. Back in February, Elon Musk said he and his team at the Department of Government Efficiency are working 120 hours a week. Our bureaucratic opponents optimistically work 40 hours a week, he added. That is why they are losing so fast. So I guess it's the goal is to work like 3 times as fast as they're working to get ahead. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if his whole team is just computers running audits. Who knows anymore? Thought that was a funny story. It popped up too. So I don't know. Other than that, the Trump team's battling with what can and can't be done with these judges, and I don't know. It's about getting past these Obama judges that don't want to do what the American people voted for to be done. Anyway, folks, that's really all I got for you tonight. If you're on Rumble, go over to Nino's Corner, and you can check out that episode and many, many, many more, of course. And then don't forget ninoscorner.tv. And, of course, he's here on Rumble. Or YouTube. We're on YouTube. Where the hell are we? Whose wine? What wine? Where the heck did I dine, folks? I remember that, Jamie. 80,000 pages is what they're saying for tomorrow. Well, not necessarily. I mean, they did say all, but supposedly there's 80,000 documents, so it's going to be interesting. People will be trying to fast track through it. So I'll be looking for the highlights tomorrow and reading and more reading. That'll be interesting. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight as always. I hope you had a great weekend, ready to kick off the week. We'll see where it goes. March is moving even faster than February, it seems, and so it'll be spring before you know it. Feels like spring. It's getting warm and then cold and warm and cold, so at least here in Illinois. And a tornado or two or three. It's pretty wild. Anyway, yeah, that's really all I got. There's nothing really new today that I saw as far as our usual round of Patriots we round about. So, and that's everything. That's our news. But I thought that was an interesting interview. I know it took a little bit to get going, but it was a good interview. I love this card. I should put this card up here. It's a cool card. Did I get it? There we go. Close enough for now. You know, I thought about getting a little tack board and putting it up here on the wall. Putting all the cool cards you guys send me up there. I still have all the ones. Like that one. That was a cool one. A picture you took. Awesome stuff. Cool cards, Elaine. You guys are awesome. Love you guys very much. I hope you have a good night and everything. And it's good to know you Patriots are out there. I enjoy hanging with you. I really do. We're going to have a good week. We're going to have a good month. A good year. I'm getting tired, folks. It's been a long day. Oh, my dog's joining. Are you getting tired, my friend? Would you like to do an interview? You seem kind of nervous. Can you say hi to the camera? Say hi. What's your matter, buddy? You joined the party kind of late, mister. You gotta love it when the dogs join in. What you doing, pal? Are you gonna say hi to everybody? Come on, sit in the chair. Come sit in the chair. You can do it. You can do it. I think he's tired too. He doesn't want to jump up here. Climb, man, climb. Come on, you can do it. Yay! He made it. Whoa. Doggy butt on TV. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me, man. Yeah, he's a really good dog. He's my buddy. Say hi to everybody now. Yeah. He's pretty much everywhere I go. It's Nibbles. Nibbles. Say hi, Nibbles. Mr. Squishy. Say hi, Squishy. Say hi to everybody. Right about here. He's a good boy. He really is. He's a good dog. Jennifer Easton Washington. Never heard of it. Yeah, right, Linda? That's probably about right. Actually, if you guys probably wouldn't know, but he sits up here with me the whole time I do these shows. Usually you can't see him on camera, but he won't go downstairs when I'm up here. So, yeah. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna let you guys go. Fur babies. Yeah, he's a good one. Well, I appreciate it, guys. That's all I've got for tonight, news-wise. If you haven't already, subscribe. Give it a chance. You might like it. He's subscribed. And if he's subscribed, you can do it. Love you guys. I'm out of here. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Happy Paddy's Day, America!
Tomorrow you have the JFK files. What time will they be released?
Tomorrow after research.
Tomorrow after.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you seen what's in the files? Have you read them?
I've heard about it.
Anything interesting?
It's going to be very interesting.
Was there an executive summary supplied to you, Mr. President,
No,
regarding this?
I'm not doing summaries. You'll write your own summaries.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. What's up?
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking like the Doodah Man. Together, more or less in line, just keep trucking on.
Arrows of neon and flashing marquees out on Main Street. Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all on the same street. A typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings.
Dallas got a soft machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York got the ways and means and just won't let you be.
Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of
got to pay your hand. Sometimes the cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay 'em down. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me. What a long, strange trip it's been.
What in the world ever became of Sweet Jane? She lost her sparkle, you know she isn't the same. Living on Reds, vitamin C and cocaine. All a friend can say is ain't it a shame?
Trucking up the Buffalo, been thinking you got to mellow slow. It takes time to pick a place to go and just keep trucking on.
Sitting and staring out of the hotel window. Got a tip, they're gonna kick the door in again. I'd like to get some sleep before I travel. But if you got a warrant, I guess you're gonna come in.
Busted down on Bourbon Street, set up like a bowling pin, knocked down. It gets to wearing thin, it just won't let you be.
You're sick of hanging around and you like to travel. Get tired of traveling, you wanna settle down. I guess I can't revoke your soul for trying. Get out of the door, light out and look all around.
Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me. What a long, strange trip it's been. Trucking, I'm going home. Whoa, whoa, baby, that's where I belong. Back home, sit down and patch my bones and get back trucking. The storm is coming. Oh, a storm is coming. Oh.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. 7, 6, commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2, check ignition, and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom.
Conspiracy theories have turned out to be true. Which ones? The Trump-Russia witch hunt, Jeffrey Epstein, JFK assassination, the misuse of the Patriot Act, the Iraq War, the weapons of mass destruction, the war in Ukraine, the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline, the open border migration caravans, the climate change scam, chemtrails, and HARP, and 9/11 being an inside job, and the Internet of Things surveillance grid, and PFAs, and chemicals in the water turning everyone gay, and the 2020 election being stolen, and January 6th being filled with undercover feds, and Bilderberg and Bohemian Grove, and global government, not to mention gain-of-function research and the threat of China, and collapsing birth rates, and defund the police, and George Soros, and mail-in ballots, and big tech censorship, and disinformation agencies, and Obama's birth certificate, and probably some others I can't think of. I mean, so a few of
take my seat right way back. Oh, yeah, I watch this train roll down the track. I'm gonna bring it on home, bring it on home to you. Watch out, that
quality of the Irish, the remarkable combination of hope, confidence, and imagination that is needed more than ever today. The problems of the world cannot possibly be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need men who can dream of things that never were and ask why not.
All right, so remember, misspellings do matter. So if you guys saw Trump's post on True Social, you read through the golf thing here, but at the bottom that it says participated in the event, but it's missing a T. So let's go to the cue board real quick and check this out. Well, in this post here, this is back in 2019, 3109. The strike will be fast. Well, Q forgot the T. And then at the bottom, that would be 2019 on post 3110. He says, strike on the move. My friends, there's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot of military operation on the move, if you couldn't tell, over in all these Iran, everywhere else right now, and the Houthis. So buckle up. Military's in control, and it's going to get exciting here soon. Love y'all.
Veil didn't just thin, it tore. And you're walking through it right now. For the next 7 days, you are in a dimensional crossfade. The old world and the new timeline are overlapping, and you're in the middle of it. This explains why things feel so off for so many right now. It's almost like you're slipping in and out of a different version of your life. You're feeling the ripple of this eclipse still echoing through your reality. And if you think this is just so...
Walking in the desert all alone. You're not searching, lost in isolation from your soul. When the bullets you bite from the pain you request, you're finding them harder to digest. When the answers you seek are the ones you destroy, your aimless well-defined. Why can't you listen? Why can't you hear? Why can't you listen to love screams everywhere? You know hunger, feeding your mind with selfishness. You know wonder, aimlessly around your consciousness. When your prophecies fail, when your thoughts become weak, and silence creates necessity, and you're clothing yourself with the shields of despair, your courage now empty. Why can't you listen? Why can't you hear? Why can't you listen to love screams everywhere? You crucify all honesty, no sign to see. Do you believe? I know your words just twist and turn, provide just to crush and burn. Fighting till the bitter end, if only your heart could open. Listen.
on her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Her pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, "Thank you, ma'am," the snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in."
To follow up on the Biden auto pen, are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an auto pen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave, think of it, they gave pardons with an auto pen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it. And what they did is they deleted and destroyed all of the information that took them over a year to get. And the reason they did that is because the information was very incriminating about them. Like Nancy Pelosi, it was determined conclusively that she knew about 10,000 soldiers and turned it down. And if we used 500 soldiers, you would have had no problem, let alone 10,000. The young lady that said that I grabbed these powerful young Secret Service agents by the neck, okay? You know that was a big hoax. It was a lie. And she admitted it. And they deleted everything. So, you know, what they did is criminal. I think we're about to land, everybody.
Criticism that the Alien Enemies Act has only been invoked 3 other times. They were all during times of war. Do you feel that you're using it appropriately right now?
Well, this is a time of war because Biden allowed millions of people, many of them criminals, many of them at the highest level. They emptied jails out. Other nations emptied their jails into the United States. That's an invasion. And these are criminals, many, many criminals, murderers, drug dealers at the highest level, drug lords, people from mental institutions. That's an invasion. They invaded our country. So this isn't, in that sense, this is war.
Late in the evening, I lose my mind. Early in the morning when I walk in the line. Hang me some sugar, hang me that wine. Take me to heaven, I don't have much time. people, I've been walking the line.
It's the young that are at the forefront of every war. With every new war comes a new way of fighting. The old have seen a transformation take place over the past 20 years. One that's so familiar it's become an extension of ourselves. That enables us exponentially. But with every new capability comes a new way of exploiting it. You might not be able to see it, the enemy can. Clear as day. You don't even need to be this close. Or nearby. Or even human.
The rocket strike that killed dozens of service members has been linked to unauthorized cell phone use.
Using photographs freely available online to pinpoint the exact location of militants everywhere from Syria to Siberia.
Online posts like these, geotagging and details in the photos, people were able to confirm that he was and power lines and backgrounds. They had a match and a pinpoint location on Google Maps.
They're not going to stop, and this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop, and everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election